It's been about a couple weeks now, and as I try to been watching other people's videos and things like that, and just kind of picking up on the base. And one of the videos that I pick up on was this guy named Polight. They call him Brother Polight. And if I can, I don't know. I'll answer it later. Every time I'm about to do something, somebody else they tell me wrong. I'll answer it when I get back anyway. Let me turn this down. Anyway, this guy Polight allegedly did something very. Is alleged he did something very bad as far as to a young lady down there in Florida. But the strange thing about it is, what I noticed was about this guy Polight, that I thought it was under the impression that he had, he was in a polygamous marriage. And one thing I learned about these people who are in polygamous marriage, it seemed like, okay, you got the 2 or 3 women as your wife. What is the problem? Why is it that you keep trying to go after other women when you have the women around? You have the women that's in your little circle, and you have your little concubine of children with your women. And then they come to find out that some of these men that's in this polygamy, some of them who are in this polygamous marriage, man, it's like they struggle with a spirit of lust. And this lust is starting to do something. It's like it seems like the more and more, just like a single man who wants to seek, is the opposite of some women that want to seek validation of, they want to see how many women they can lay up with or be with or satisfy their own ego. But what I learned is that the ending always was good. The ending, always will turn out to be, because you'll never be satisfied with the type of women. If that's the case, then you won't be satisfied spiritually with yourself. And that's what's really sad. You have a lot of people that, you have a lot of men that struggle with that. And I'm going to give you a personal testimony. And it took a long time for me to figure this out. You can meet different women, whether it's through the chat line, through a dating site, travel to another country, and meet different women. But what most men don't realize is, if you don't pick that one woman, and by you getting with this woman, laying it with this woman, laying it with this woman, and getting with this woman, and laying it with this woman, you really, not only you're dealing with the woman to attract the woman, but you're dealing with what's inside and you're linked to her problems. You're spiritually linked to the woman you lay down with. And if that woman had a partner or many partners, you laying with the same type of woman. And it's really jacked up, because it seems like, therefore, you ride a spirit of lust. And the lust spirit, the lust spirit, from what I understand, when you have so many partners, it can teeter-totter into different things. People who struggle with lust, and if they don't get control of it, they can be subject to go off in certain things that will take you in areas that you want to go. And it's not good to have that many many partners because you don't get any rest. Your spirit is not at rest. Your soul is not at your spirit and your soul is not at peace. You may be pleasing your flesh, but your spirit is not at rest. It's not, because and then how it affects your psychic with some people. It manifests out to different people, and then you expose yourself. This is what I've noticed. People like Polight and different individuals who try to seek validation from their peers, and he's the man. He got all these good looking women and da da da. He got putting on a show, but in the end, you live in a false dream. And I see these guys all the time, man. And it's really sad that they can't settle down with one woman because maybe they may be too lame, they may be too boring or whatever, but it's going to cost you in the end. You're going to be exposed. People are going to see who you really are. You can't keep doing stuff like this. You can't keep laying up with different women, having different women. And there's many men that have done this. Couple men have done this in the past. That guy Warren Jeffries was one of them. The one they says one guy his name was Malachi in New York, and there's been other men that they were put in leadership. The one guy I mentioned, Warren Jeffries, was a guy that was over. He had his own sector out there in West, and you have him and his father, and they married all these different, had 6-7 different wives. And what I noticed is that you say, dang, okay, you got the 6 wives. Why you keep trying to go? You got 6 grown women. Why are you trying to get with the younger woman, which could turn out to be a girl? That's not good enough. Then slowly they go down. With some men, they go after younger girls, 14, 13, 12. It's like, what you doing trying to get with the younger girl when you already have 3 grown women, mature women, or 6 grown mature women? Why are you laying up? And it seems like it's the same story over and over and over again with these men that are put into some kind of leadership. Then we had a little cult like that. It's like, wow, this guy got it going on. He got his own little business. He's taking three care of 3 or 4, 5 different wives. But what they're not telling you is that this man is struggling with sin, and he's struggling with lust, and they cover it up through polygamy. It's a cover up. It's a cover up for lust. That's all what it is. And they try to use the same example like a Solomon or maybe like an Abraham or someone in the Bible. But the law of that time of those men, they stick with their limit. They wasn't going out and trying out. And when they had the men of the Old Testament, they took care of their family. No matter you have Jacob with his 2 wives, he didn't go and just jump and go to another girl. He didn't go there. So people can miss me with that. That's in the word. No, they didn't. They had children with grown women. They didn't have children with. They didn't go. Okay, I got one wife. Well, let me check out this 12 or 13-year-old girl over here, and so on and so on. They try to and validate. They try to justify that, and it's really sad. So, but people get caught up with people's tongue. They get caught up with people's so-called charisma, and they really don't sit down and take time and to listen to people who can see around us, that can look at you and say something isn't right here, something isn't right, there's something wrong with this person. And now it was 2 stories on him. What I was that is, he followed this one man that did the same thing. He started up with one group in one part of religion, and they called this guy Dr. York. And it come to find out that this guy, he started out the same way. He had a few wives. He had discovered his own cult. He just his own idea, and tried to put as a leader. Only thing to find out that this leader wanted so much power that they was ruled by an enemy. And that's basically with Satan. Satan manipulates people that think that you gotta have this power and charisma, because that's who's behind. When people do stuff like this, they're being exposed to the devil. And a lot of people know there's some people who are atheists or agnostics that don't believe that there's no devil, but look at the manifestations of it. When you see somebody go and harm, a child or something like that, after being part of some kind of religious cult or some other thing, and now they've been exposed, and it's kind of, even though that there's some stuff people do in the dark, let me say this: God is bringing things to light, even to some people in the world who are not of God, but give you think that He's exposing. Sometimes God allowed the world for these individuals who put themselves on an altar of a prophet or some kind of God-like person. He exposes their dirty deeds, and this is what's going on. People are being exposed in the last days, and whether they're in the secular world, like a Bro Polight, or in the world that's supposed to be claiming that they or a preacher or a pastor, they're being exposed. They are being exposed of what they do, and they're being allowed to get themselves used by the enemy to get exposed. So that's what it is. And some people probably, who this Bro Polight is. He's a person that is basically, let me see if I get a picture of it. If I get a picture, if I can. I should have kept it on. Who came into the what they call the Black conscious community. And the Black conscious community is the people who have a different set of rare things of looking at, their own spiritual systems and things of ancient past, or ancient gods and things like that. So that's what that's all about. But I'm going to show you a picture right quick. This guy, let me see. See this guy right, hold on. See this guy right here? This is the guy that's been exposed. This guy right here. And that's the guy. He's on this YouTuber's channel, and he wasn't the only one that exposed him, that was talking about this very topic. But people are starting to wake up, and then some people get mad, and you'd be amazed what I've learned from watching YouTube, is that you'd be surprised how some people get mad at people who get up under the spell of people who, after it's been revealed, the evidence, the truth was right there, somebody will come along and try to justify what this person is doing, or is allegedly that someone is taking them down. It is this particular a white man or this system. No, God is taking them down. God is exposing who these people really is. The Most High is exposing. being allowed to be exposed because of what the things that's done in the dark is being brought to light. See, some people want to do things in the dark. They don't think that it is ever going to come to the light. You can't do things in the dark and try to go around manipulating people, cunning, crafting, hustling people, and think that across this country and use the internet and not be exposed. And some people, they set themselves up to be trapped. You know, they set themselves a trap when you start taking money from people and putting up, trying to develop some kind of cult, false narrative, whatever. And he's not the only one, but there's other people. I've seen other people do the same thing. That you're going to get exposed, and then people then you have there's a segment of people out there that know that something isn't not normal with this person. That they have a cult-like mentality. And one thing I learned about the black community, some of them don't want to talk about some people just as well as any other community of people that have cult likes in their community. And you got some black people that they will refuse to believe truth, even though it's presented right in front of their face. It's right there. You could put it right in their face. I mean, I have seen people bring up the evidence of them saying something, and they still will fight you tooth and nail. They will fight because they want to be a part of this. We are our own gods. We are separate people, but we're going to be our own gods. But they don't ever want to give credit to the Most High, or the Creator. They want to take the credit themselves. They want to be gods themselves. Well, guess what? The God of the creation, the God of everything is exposed, and everything in every secular, whether it's of His kingdom, whether it's not of His kingdom, is being exposed to people and showing that what these people are really about. That's what's funny about some people about social media. People really exposed who think that they can do the same thing they did, and they up the game when they came to social media. But what they don't know is that it's social media. It's the internet. It's a world wide web. And so whatever you do, once it go out on the web, whether it's doing in the dark, something you did something 3 or 4 years ago, and you did some foul or said something foul, it's going to be someone out there, like on YouTube or something like that, or some other social channel. They'll bring up what you did. And the people who's following these people, the people who like these people, they'll justify it instead of really thinking about what this person has done. They're using manipulation tactics. But yeah, that situation was pretty nasty, man. Then it was another young man that he was sitting on and he was bragging about. He took a group of people down to a Caribbean island. I believe it was a country. It was I think it was Costa Rica or something like that. And he got this young man. I'm not going to say his name, but people out there know what I'm talking about. He's trying to live out there in the nature life, right? They run around half naked, trying to be rebellious, live by their own, being part of this conscious community, in the black community. And one thing people don't understand is that the enemy inside the people, the devil, Satan himself, reveals himself inside of people. People think sometimes that he comes in the flesh. Sometimes he comes in the flesh, No. He reveals himself in people. And what some people do, that they really reveal what they really are. So he's sitting up there talking about something crazy about him. He was having intimate with his girlfriend while this child was in the room. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, what kind of crazy stuff would you? And he was just boasting about it. And he was, in his own mind, he's justifying having an intimate relationship with his wife or girlfriend in the same room. Is this, it's I don't know, it was crazy. And it's like, man, how could you say something like that? But again, this person had a following. People will really look past that, but people really don't. They don't really hear people what they're saying. And there were some people who's been in that life, who's been around people who did a lot of cunning, been around people that's been in the streets, that been in the jail and the prisons and been in that street life. They try and tell people, hey man, who's trying to do right, hey, this person's full of crap, Oh man, you hating. How is he hating? He's trying to warn you. And someone's trying to, oh man, you just hating, man, you're a hater, man. And when people are being exposed, and it's telling the truth to save people from getting their feelings hurt and they're emotionally wrapped up, is trying to save them from not giving these people their money. But here's another picture of him. That's another picture of this. The guy got caught I was telling you about. And people gonna get mad. But this, what he did was, this same guy, the guy I just showed you, he started out, the one that said, in the conscious community. Then he come and he first he worked the streets of his city in New York. Going to the black community and try to reach out, go on the internet to try to reach the black community across the country. At the same time, it seemed like he's like, okay. Then he started getting in some, dabble in some real estate and things. He said, okay, he's doing his thing, he's got his women, he's got his business going on. And next thing you know, he went from going from real estate to, one time he showed up here in Ohio and went on, I don't know how he did this, he came here to Columbus and ended up, I think it was on the outskirts of the east side. This what this guy did. This guy right here. This what this guy did. So he came to Columbus and said that he part owner of this renovation of housing. That he was renovating of these housing that they were made out of box train cards. And so he's telling people, yeah, brothers and sisters, come on down, fill out a job application. Because he claimed he's a part owner of this. And the guy who actually owned the project, tell him had to send him a letter to cease and desist. Stop doing that. Stop telling people that you're not owner of something. But anyway, he came down. It's on the internet. And some guy so I'm watching this guy, this other guy on Morris TV. He's pulling all this stuff up, man. what he's done, because he's trying to be part of this conscious community, man. And some of these people from Atlanta and New York and different parts, they got some hustle for you out there. Oh my God. Some of the people, the hustle that they got on the East Coast is at a whole different level. I mean, they just come up with some things and they find a following of people and they just go across the country, and they could be spitting out half truth, what I call half truth. They could go and find some Google information, get some truth from that, and try to put themselves as a scholar, and some people that, and try to put it out there and make a hustle of it. And it's really something, man. It's really somehow the way these people do it. I mean, I just want to. But anyway, get back to his story. He comes to Columbus. He makes video. He goes on this private property, which this guy takes him in this tractor. He's putting on, they taking up and down this at a tiny. But this was about 4 or 5 years ago, I believe it was. Say that he's telling people to come on down and apply for the job. Well, the guy wasn't hired for that. He already had a construction company, doing work that was not doing some hiring. But people fell for it. So, come on down here, brothers and sisters, blah, blah, blah. But it's amazing how these people are getting exposed in these last days, man. I'm telling you. And they're getting exposed. And he did that. Then he came through here another time through Ohio with some real estate in some storefront somewhere. So again, to the conscious community, preying on black people who want to get to the probably the Kemet, the Egyptology and all that stuff, and they probably out of the bookstore and try to bring them on how to flip houses and things like that, and teach one guy, a couple people, men and women, sent their money for him to teach, give him some course that he didn't. Basically, he probably got off with somebody else, but charged him for $500-$600 to do that. And I mean, it's crazy, man. The hustle is real. So what it tells me that no matter what people believe, there's some people in this world, no matter what you do, what you say, if you're a good talker and you convince somebody, I don't care what race of people that it is, if you got, there's people out there that they don't exercise their judgment or let that take the information and take it in and think, they'll throw you off, they manipulate you with their cunning, crafty, and talk. And it's really, but in these last days, people have been exposed. And that's one thing I couldn't do that, man. I couldn't go around just cunning, crafting people, lying to people, and selling false programs. And if I'm going to market something, I'm going to do my research and background before I would give it to anybody or put it on the internet, so it'll come back on me. And do your homework, whatever you promote. Because if it's a hustle, you're going to be exposed. But it's like what I learned from experience, but from the spiritual side of it, of an aspect of it, is when you talk with people, when you're dealing with people over the internet, or even off the internet, on TV, it's just crazy. It's just crazy, man. It's just crazy. I mean, people are just out. They out of their mind. They out of their mind, and you have to just be aware of who you listen to, who you follow, and just take in the information and do some research and do some self-taught, self-thinking. It's just something. It's really, you learn, you live and you learn. But what I learned from this is like most men have done, and what most men continually do. They're just good to settle down with one woman. I mean, because even though it sounds good that you can date and meet these different women, but if you get with them in the bedroom, you open up the door to so many things. So many things about to follow you in the natural and the spirit realm. It's so many things. So many things. You got problems coming behind that you're unaware of. Things are coming around the corner is unaware of. Things about to hit you. Things about to manifest in your body because you mess around with these different women. Mess with your psychic, your mind, and you just never know. And what I learned from that is that lust spirit, man. That lust spirit gets you in trouble, man. I see why they say it's good to be married. You know, I see why that Bible says it's good to be married, man. Because, yeah, there's a lot of attractive women out there. And look, they might look good in a dress, in a bathing suit, whatever, and pretty in the face, pretty in the hip and the waist. But at the end of the day, ooh, and I've seen some attractive women, come across some attractive women. But when you get to talking with some women, boy, some women that's very attractive, you be like, wow, she's gorgeous. And but her demeanor, some women can be cold and they can be outright raunchy. I've seen beautiful women that just they controlling, they manipulating, they use you. Yeah, because they think that they seek validation. You got women out there that seek validation based on this. They'll manipulate you. If you don't find the right woman, there's women out there that do that. They do this. They do the opposite. The same thing how some men do. There's some. As a man, I'm learning this, and that's why based on this lesson I sent around, learning from a guy like that. And just good to get one woman. Get one woman, steady girlfriend. Try to make her your wife. Make sure that she's compatible with you, because you want someone that's going to stand by you. You want somebody that you know is going to be there when you're down. It's going to be. You might not have the money. You may not have the resources, but at least you be with someone that would understand, that can keep you through, that you work together as a team, that keep your hopes up, keep you living. You may not see eye to eye on things all the time, but no matter if you're the richest man on the planet or to the poorest man that's in the hood, if you have a good woman, that's what matters. Because really, half of all these, and I can speak at the women that fall in that mentality of meeting all these different women. You, as a man, I can speak this as a man. I mean, I don't have great means like most men do, 5-6 figures like most men do. But what I've learned from it is that when you take out the education of 5-6 figures, you see the person for what they really are. You see them just a body, just a person. Yes, they can have a higher intelligence than you. Yes, or income than you, and they could be achieving a lot of areas. But are they well rounded? Are are they mentally rounded? You know what I mean? Do they have the basic capabilities? I have met a couple of women in the past that were very educated, but they couldn't do the basic things like cook. Some women don't know how to properly be a woman. In not just cooking, but just in other avenues that most women do. They have all these other things, but they didn't have a feminine nature, that allowed them to develop them as a woman. They don't know how to balance the strongness and still stay feminine. They don't have no balance. They have some insecurities. I was thinking about this morning about this young woman, and she was of a different. It don't matter what they same nationality, different nationality, but she showed me an original picture of her, and she looked beautiful. She was cute. Then when she showed me the picture of her now, she injected her lips with collagen. She had a nose job, and it's like, man, and I guess she trying to have it. It's good that she work out. That's a good thing you work out, but trying to the only thing I would say, the workout is fine, but why go and alternate your whole appearance? Why go and try to do surgery? Why they had the so-called lips or the nose and everything? Why do something like that when God designed you for who you are? I mean, hey, I could say as a man, only thing I would have to do is lose some weight and get on a proper diet. I ain't going out there and try to, you try to, because everything come natural. Once you try to get implant and kit pills and trying to have sex with 100, what I'm trying to prove? I mean, really, you get to a certain age, it's like, what do you try to prove? You gotta have a fancy car, and you gotta have, you have a strong sex drive. And the sex drive is one thing, but so they pump it with all these pills, and because men have their own insecurity about being ED, sexually function. But I just don't. But I'm not gonna get no implant to try to. Ooh, he got a big thing between. I don't know. I ain't gonna try to go out there and get a fancy sports car. Trying to impress some women. They ain't work. Some of these women ain't work to impressing themselves, and then you struggling trying to impress somebody that thinks attract somebody, and then you might end up attracting the wrong thing. That's what I'm learning. And I'm at the age, I'm in my 50s, man. I'm through that stage. I'm through it. I'm through that stage. Hey, let the younger generation struggle with that. Because I have my struggles with that. That insecure, trying to keep up with the Joneses, and forget that shit. For real. I was thinking about that recently. It's like, what for? What you trying to prove? Is someone gonna like you? If someone gonna like you for you or love you for you, that's all what matters. All you need is one person. You don't need to impress. I don't need to impress as a man. Impress 4,000, 5,000 women. For what? All I need is one. Because I get the one that God lines up for me. That's all what matters. Because the next 399,000 women got all kind of issues and all kind of problems and insecurities and personalities, and I don't know if I want to deal with, because it only take two to make a relationship. I'm just saying, it takes two, and it takes two to have that mutual attraction to each other. Because maybe I might be some attractive, but I may not be in this area as far as education, income, and this and that and other and this and that and other, and they want it now. Then you got the women that just expect to get it now. I want you to have it now. You got, and because I'm independent, and they got the one that's independent, but it is independent, which is nothing wrong with being independent. It's good to say you're self-sufficient, but they have their own ego. Women have an ego just like men do. Don't let this. That's why women have an ego like men. Oh, they just exercise in a different way. Men have an ego, but women, the ego has an ego too. There's some women that I've seen that are prideful, that I've just chat with, and how one woman just recently think I should just pay for her time. I mean, and just because she was in pretty good shape, but the way she approached it was like her personality was just ugly. I mean, I was drawn to her body and everything, but when I really looked at it and I really thought about it, it's like I don't want her. I mean, because I don't like her attitude and I don't like her personality. It's like she just got this entitlement. And the reason why, and I found out half the women who are single, some of them struggle with that idea. They're too entitled, and because, and then you got the women that's been hurt, so they try to dump it on. If they meet a good man, they gonna be in control, and you ain't gonna tell them something, and they wanna flip it and hurt other men, the men that they meet that they can come and crap, and see. Just because some men have come and cracked and broke their heart, they want to turn around and do that to some other men. And I ain't, and just because some guy's nice to you, don't make them daddy slow. It don't make them daddy dumb. You're just doing your own damage, because in the end, you use and manipulate just like men manipulate women. You're only gonna hurt yourself in the end. So why do this though? Why just be single? But I thank God I don't have to seek validation from this world, because this world sucks. Seek validation. I'm glad I'm past that stage. I'm past that age, that time period. You gotta have a nice car. You gotta have a $3 million car. For what? For what? Do they want you for you, or do they want the things that you got to make it look good? Because they're embarrassed to be seen with you? What is it? Because what you're driving, what your clothes that you're wearing, as long as you're clean, as long as you smell good, as long as you keep yourself up, what the hell? Oh, that's my motto. As long as you love yourself. And then, are they going to, when the character show, because everything ain't going to be peaches and roses all the time, because you're going to have problems. No matter if you have less money or you have people have the most money, everybody has a day of ups and downs. Whether a man running a $5 company to the man that's running a $5 billion company, everybody has problems. No matter how educated they are, what their name is, everybody has problems. Everybody gonna have a good day and a bad day. As long as you live in this earthly suit, that's the reality of this world that we live in. You always gonna have some problems. So my mentality is be me, and it's like I know this gonna let me find a woman that is attracted to me, and I'm attracted to her. Screw all the other women that got this mentality. He's kind of goofy looking, lame, whatever. I don't give a shit. I mean, I can say this. I don't give a shit. All I need is the one. That's all I need is the one. God, guys, the good Lord upstairs can just give me one. That we have a mutual attraction. Because I've seen something that's average. There's something that's good. There's something that's really good. When it comes to personality, it sucks. And when the inside, that's why I say I'd rather have a person inside and out. I mean, everybody wants somebody attractive, but if these are going to be attractive, give me somebody with attractive personality. Because I've seen attractive women with the ugliest personality you would ever seen. He's like, wow, they got a pretty body, but they have crazy, they talk crazy, and they insecure, and they wasn't ready. They've been told all that. They've been eye candy to most men. And again, they say, oh, I look good. Yeah, you look good, but it's more than just a look. And I'm sorry, baby, I'm sorry, but you just feel like, and maybe a few men spoiled you, but it don't give you entitlement. Oh, give me money and I'll show you my boobs over the internet. And this is what I was dealing with on social media. It was like, I would be on Facebook, and I'm like, okay, I mean, what's it good gonna do for me? Now I'm all excited and everything. What I'm supposed to do? I'm sitting over getting erected and whatever. And now that means you're erected. Give me your money. No, I'm good. No, I'm good. No, I'm good. Now I see what you're really about. And I just don't want to deal with it. No, telling women who think they're so entitled. Just give me a godly woman. And because I'm not the kind of man that like this brother did, and this dude did, have 5-6 wives. When you got 5-6 wives, you might got 5,000-6,000 problems with those 5-6 wives and 3 girlfriends on the side. And the 5-6 wives, and got about a whole concubine full of children, and you got some issues. But you got some men that live in that, but you got there's some men that feel like, I'm validated, and I'm the best lover, and I'm the best whatever. Yes, daddy. What? Look how big my income is. Look how big my furniture. For what? Does it validate you? Who are you trying to prove? It's like locker room talk. Like boys' locker room talk. How many women did you slept with? I slept with 300 women. How many did you sleep with? I have 2, 3, 4, but at the same time, common sense will come in your life and says, at one point, what does this make any sense? Because if you was about to get married and some woman heard you say that, she went, ugh, I don't think I want to marry you. Because you don't sound like you could be a person's favorite because you have been with these women and you have a lust problem. I'm just saying. That's why it's good to just marry. I've learned along life, and hopefully some young men can pick up on his wisdom. It ain't good, bro. They have all these different women, bro. It ain't good. Because the more women you meet, the more, if you have one kind of men that they have 100 different women, you got 100,000 different problems. And they falling, and they about to catch up to you in so many different areas. Catch up as far as your health, catch up as far as your finances, catch up as far, because this is part of the curse. See, this is one thing that some people, they criticize the church, but this is what the church was trying to tell people. Hey, there's consequences coming. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that religion. I'm not telling you religion. The consequences about to come behind you. Oh, that's your take on it. And then when it happened, and then when they over child support for a woman who they never loved, and the poor kid got to go through it, then you see what it's about. And I thank God I didn't have no kid out of lust, because I would be like some of these men complaining that, man, my baby's mom and daddy, my baby's mama got some issue. You ain't with the woman, but you choose to lay down and produce. And if you did like they did 30 years ago and wore a condom and she was their birth control, this wouldn't happen. You're still paying back child support. And these to the men who fell in their lust. Not the men who didn't, but the men who married and got divorced, the men who had a stable relationship and things didn't work out. That don't apply to them. I'm talking about these men that got the wrong, the man, meeting these kind of women, and then they end up knocking up with about 6-7 women with 6-7 2 or 3 babies, and they don't have the support, they don't have the resources to fund and take care of these children. And then these children, they don't see the outcome of it. The outcome is that it's going to come down to their generation, and their daughters and their sons going to grow up, and hopefully if someone praying over them that they don't follow the same pattern, the daughter don't get screwed over by 5-6 different men, the son don't screw over 5-6 different women, because it gets of age. Man. But and that's just the truth. That's just the truth on that one. But anyway, I didn't mean to make this long, but I want to sum this up in one way. If you got a lustful problem, seek God. Seek counseling. If you have an insecure problem, let God deal with your insecurity, so you don't end up in a situation like this. Let Him develop you as the man that you are. And if it's a woman, let Him deal with your insecurities too, whatever it is, so you won't keep track, that you get that one ultimate man that will love you, have the love that He learned from the one who sacrificed Himself for all of us, so we can come in to know who to the Creator, to the Most High, through His Son Yeshua, better known to the Christian world as Jesus, because that's the only one that's gonna love you. That's the only one you should feel. Does He accept me for who I am, not from what I can do for Him? That's the only one that's gonna accept you. That's the only one that's gonna love you. And I learned this: stop trying to seek validation from people, because there's not a heaven or a hell people can't put you in. Worry about the one that's going to put you, that can take the soul and take the body and the soul. Don't worry about the one that can just take the body. Worry about the one that takes the soul and the body and please them. And this, to wind this all up, that's what it is. And let Him set you up with somebody that knew how to sacrifice and love and give you and manifest the things that you want. Not someone just saying with their mouth, but they manifest with their heart. They come through their heart, not through their lips, but through their heart. Not through their head, but through their heart. That's the only person can give it to you. That's the truth. That's the lesson that I learned, and that's what I would like to put out to the people. Whether you're a young man or even a middle-aged man, whatever, if you're a man, you don't have to validate yourself with all these different women, man. All you need is one woman. That's it. Because, and you don't believe me, let God show you. Let the Most High show you. He will show you what I'm talking about. Because you don't want the spirits, the soul ties, and the problems that come with it, and what it produces out that can affect your body, can affect your mind. All you need is one person, man. Because a person can take you down spiritually, and you don't want no woman taking you down, using her, and this is where the cunning crafty come in. She used her body. Okay, now that I got you erected and visually aroused. Give me money, because I feel entitled to. Because if she gotta do something like that, then she ain't really somebody you want to get with anyway. Real women don't do that. Real women don't do that. Real women don't do that. They don't do that. A real woman, and there's good women out there. We just sometimes we take advantage. We take for granted. And when God sends a woman out of the kingdom, that's what I'm looking for. I mean, she loved him first and loved me second. I'm fine. Don't put me as a God. Put the one who can save your soul, save your body. Because if you learn love from him, then you can love me. But if you can't learn from love from God, as that woman can learn to love God and appreciate you and stand by you through thick and thin, then she ain't for you. And I don't care how beautiful she is. I don't care how pretty, educated, or whatever. She good in the bedroom or anything. If she don't, it don't matter. It don't matter. It took me a long time to figure. It don't matter. If she can't love you, if she can't love God, she can't love you. She can't love you, bro. That's why I've been waiting for a long time. It would wait me till I get however long it take me. I rather wait on it, because I see what's out here. I see the kind of women that's out here. And as a man, from a straight man to a straight man, woo! There's some stuff out here. Like, it's good to wait. Put your energy on something else. In the meantime, let God bring it his own way. I try to do it my way, and I tell you, it ain't good. You meet some women that are devils, boy. Woo! You meet some women out there that got some issues. That's why I said, well, you know, us men, we got a lust, but we don't know that there's a consequences. And boy, there is a consequences to lust. And the only way gonna come up out of it is just say, hey man, I just wait. And just wait. Maybe you have to wait till you gotta go to another part of the country, another country, to find your wife. Maybe it might be in another part of the world. Maybe it could be in another state. But wait, bro. Just wait. Wait. Because this... I could tell you some wait. I met some women the last couple months that got younger women that got some issues. Some women my age and younger, they got some issues. They never dealt with those issues. They let God deal with those issues. And they're lonely, but they haven't dealt with it. And they haven't worked on themselves. Just like we all are. I'm working on myself less like anything else. That's why I say, hey, just like the women don't want to be used as a men, I don't want to be used and played either. Because you think you're safe, but then you meet the guy you really want. And guys can probably understand this. Then you meet the guy and you be attracted to the guy you really want. Meanwhile, and I've seen this happen to men too. They'll go to the next man thinking that he got all the resources, everything, and he got the look and resource and a charming tongue. Come to find out, this person wasn't even stable. Now you to give your heart to this person, they really didn't have their heart for you. But it was a temporary love just to get, because they don't want to be alone. But this is what they really want. But once if they finally meet you, then they go find somebody they really want. So you gotta deal with that. So that you gotta make sure a woman don't fall for that. Just because they see some guys that's really attractive and then they want to get and they fall for it. For his good look, his charm and looks, whatever. Next thing you know, you end up with a broken heart. And some ladies, you listen to this, is the truth. Some men, some good men who ain't been through this, and that's another thing. There are women that act like men they been through the same crap that as women been through. So it's like, hey, that's why I said, go on find your 6-figure dude. Go on, go find your fantasy man. But anyway, I didn't mean to drag it on this long, because at the end of the day, you could end up look like the man I was showing you. You be going to many wives, and still he's making that money, but he's not giving you that time and attention. And so he's giving that other woman time and attention. And that caused friction. Next thing you know, someone end up hurting, someone end up leaving this world. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So is it worth it? But anyway, my name is James. You guys take it easy. Till next time, take care.